Today we refight the next instalment of the Truceless War using DBA. The year is 240 BC and Carthage has lost control of most of its territory to rebels. Hamilcar, father of the famous Hannibal, had recently won an impressive victory near the Bagradus River. You can find a link to a video that we made on this battle in the video description. After their previous defeat, the rebels have decided to avoid open battle and focus on guerrilla warfare. Hamilcar tries to pursue the rebels, but ends up being trapped in an unknown mountain valley between two enemy forces. One of the rebel leaders was a Numidian noble named Naravas. Hamilcar convinces Naravas to swap sides by promising his daughter's hand in marriage. Naravas convinces 2,000 other Numidians to join him. With the tables turned, Hamilcar was able to bring the rebels to battle and won another significant victory. Hamilcar offered lenient terms to the prisoners he captured and encouraged many to join his side. The rebel leaders were alarmed by how effective this tactic was, as clemency certainly would not be shown to them. In response, they tortured several hundred loyalist prisoners to death. No leniency would be shown by either side from this point on, and the war became known as the Truceless War. A quick disclaimer before continuing to the battle. We have very little information about this conflict. The scenario most likely does not represent an accurate reconstruction of the events, forces, or battlefield. Our battlefield today is only 30 centimeters by 60 centimeters, a narrow defile for our combatants to fight through. Rebel forces are split evenly between heavy and light infantry. Around half of the loyalist forces are mounted. Naravas's Numidians make up a quarter of the army. These light horse must deploy on the board edge, so the rest of Hamilcar's army has been deployed to give them space to join the line. The rebel infantry span the canyon, from wall to wall, in one large mass. The first few turns see the loyalists attempt significant reorganization, while the rebels press forward as fast as they can. By the time the lines clash, only one of the elephants is able to join the line. The rebels push in the center and left, and their spearmen easily drive off the light horse. The fight might seem one-sided, but unless the spearmen can trap the light horse, they cannot kill them. Meanwhile, on the rebel right, the two lines of infantry remain locked in a bitter struggle. In the next turn, the tides of war swing to and fro. The Gauls are driven back, but so are the loyalist spearmen. The rebel general springs on the opportunity to isolate some of the enemy infantry. Meanwhile, some rebel skirmishers try to close in on one of the elephants. The loyalist spearmen hold on and push their enemies back. The spearmen fighting on the rebel left continue to push the Numidians away. Hamilcar continues to push the centre, but combat remains indecisive. In the rebel turn, the skirmishers pounce on the loyalist elephant. In DBA, elephants are unable to kill skirmishers unless some allies can outflank them, so just like the light horse, the combat can only go one way without more support. The loyalist player uses his turn to reinforce the light horse, but both the heavy infantry and the elephant continue to hold on. The rebels try to take advantage of the gap forming between the rear and forward loyalist lines, but both elephant and light horse combat continue to be fruitless. This continues for several turns, neither side making any real headway against the other. Hamilcar tries to break the deadlock by ordering his heavy infantry to charge and joining battle himself. Hamilcar's personal guard fares no better against the enemy's spears, but the loyalist spearmen are able to isolate and hack down half of the Gallic infantry. The rebels redress their lines and continue attempting to drag down the elephant. Hamilcar repeats the successful tactic of the previous turn, and some Spanish Scutarii are slain, opening a hole in the rebel line. Simultaneously, however, the elephants are finally brought low. The death of the elephants leaves the flank of the loyalist spearmen open to a pincer movement, and Hamilcar's once triumphant spearmen are decimated. Both sides are now one unit loss from breaking. The elephants, who had been forced to stay in reserve, now plough forward, while Ligurians prevent them from being outflanked by the skirmishers. More than just protect the flanks, however, the Ligurians are able to slay the skirmishers, leaving the elephants to make short work of the enemy spearmen. The rebels are driven from the field in defeat. If you would like to try your hand at this scenario, you can find a link to the rules in the video description. Thanks for watching, take care, and see you soon.